Okay, so today I am going to discuss another PYQ of GATE 2024, and it's from statistical mechanics, and this is also I think a important problem. That's why I want to discuss it. And first pause the video and try by yourself, and if you don't know the solution then look at the solution. Okay, so they have given some canonical partition functions of this format, which is usually of this format, and volume number of they are volume number of particles and some temperature dependent function. Okay, and kb is the Boltzmann constant, and mu be the chemical potential. Okay, and you have to take these approximations, and they fixed that the number density is this, so this is a fixed quantity. Okay, so whenever you can do n by v, you should take it as n by v, don't take n and v separate. If you find some form of n by v, then take it as n by v, because n by v is equal to n is the number density which is fixed. Okay, this is important. Okay, so now you have to calculate basically this quantity. Okay, so you have to basically calculate this quantity, and they given n is the value of n is this. Okay, so now let's try to solve it. So first thing that they have given you the canonical partition function, that is 1 by n factorial v to the power n divided by lambda to the power, probably lambda to the power 3n, lambda to the power 3n. So this is your canonical partition function. Okay, so to calculate u to the power e to the power mu by kt, first thing you need what is mu. Okay, so if you don't know this formula, then I will strictly recommend you to read Meher and Kardar. Okay, there is this kind of problem in chapter 4. Okay, the similar kind of problem, that how to calculate this mu from this canonical partition function. Okay, so mu is basically del g by del n, given that all other things v and probably s or t, probably I guess these things are fixed. Okay, so mu is del g by del n basically. So basically you have to find g. Okay, so g is, you know that u minus ts plus pv, and u minus ts is simply f, so it is f plus pv. So if you already know, you don't know what is pv, so basically this is your main job to find what is pv. Okay, now if you remember that f is u minus ts, so df is equal to du minus tds minus sdt, and du is equal to tds minus pdv. So tds is cancel, so minus pdv minus sdt. So p is basically your minus del f by del v. So if you can calculate f, you can calculate p at least. This thing you can calculate, and later let's see what happened to v. Okay, so at least you can calculate p. So f is very simple. F is just directly minus kt of log q, right? So f is minus kt of log q. So now try to write this log. Okay, so sorry, not here. So v is in numerator, so it will be n log v. Lambda to the power 3n in is denominator, so it is 3n log lambda. And n factorial is also in denominator, so there will also be a minus, so log n factorial. Okay, now look, think carefully. This term is independent of v. This term is also independent of v. So only v is sitting here. Okay, so p is what is your minus del f by del v, is basically my minus is already absorbed here, so it will be nkt by v. So basically you what you get, that pv is equal to nkt for this kind of canonical partition function. Okay, so this is the trick, you the main thing you have to do in this question, nothing else. Okay, and if you know the formula, now rest of the things is done. So pv is equal to nkt. Now simply write what is g. G is this f plus a nkt, right? Plus a nkt. So now I am writing this as g. G is this f minus, if this is equal, g is equal to f plus pv. F is minus kt log q plus pv, and pv is nkt. Okay, so now this in factorial we have to dissociate it. So now let's first term is nkt log v, The second term is 3 nkt log lambda, and the third term is kt log n factorial, that is n log n minus n, okay, plus nkt. So this is your g. Now if you look that there is a minus nkt here, I am multiplying this kt is this minus n, so minus nkt plus nkt, so this will get cancelled, okay. Now look another thing carefully where you can do a mistake. Suppose this is minus nkt log v, this is nkt log n. Now punch this together, okay. So it will become nkt log n by v, which is, and n by v is a constant. That's why I mentioned earlier that whenever you can get n by v, put it as n by v, because n by v number density is small n, which is a constant, okay. So nkt log n by v plus nkt log lambda cube. Okay, so now you can write it as small n if you want. Okay, so your nkt log small n into lambda cube. This is your form of g. So it is a very simplified form. Now your job is done actually. So mu is simply del g by del n. Other parameters are fixed, whatever. So it is kt log n by lambda cube. Okay. So e to the power mu, I mean take this kt in this side, so mu by kt, and take the log as e to the power something, I mean exponentiate in both sides. So e to the power mu by kt divided by lambda cube is simply your n. Okay, so now you have to in question you have to answer the value of this quantity. So I guess so it is n into 10 to the power 25, and n is 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 25, so your answer will be 2.5. Okay, so from this question note some few things. Okay, so the first thing is g is something which is pf plus pv, and p you can find is find as you know from thermodynamic the relations of the Maxwell's law and other things, that f is minus del f by del v. Okay, this is the thing, and for this kind of canonical partition function it is pv is nkt. Okay, this is the thing, and mu is del g by del n. This is also important. You can find it in Mehran Kardar chapter 4. Okay, statistical mechanics. Okay, so these are the two things, and another important thing which is very important, that is do this plugging before taking the derivative. Okay, so it is nkt log n and n minus nkt log v. So punch this together, and nkt log n by v, n by v is a constant. Okay, so do this punching before taking the derivative. Okay, because n is a constant. So if you already taking derivative before punching it, then you may got something wrong. Okay, so take this do this punching of n by v before taking the derivative. Okay, and rest of the things are just simple mathematics. Okay, so basically you have to know the three things: g is a plus pv, this kind of things; mu is del g by del n, this second thing; and the third thing is do the clubbing. If you are given some number density in question, then whenever you see some that n by v type of form, or I mean you are getting some n by v kind of form, do these things. Okay, don't make them separate n and v. If you can club these two things, then club these two things. Okay, n by v form. Okay, these three things are important, and you should note it. Okay, okay, so that's it for today, and thank you.